In every city, there are moments that spark conversations far beyond the street where they happen. Moments caught on cell phones, replayed on the news, twisted by social media, and debated by millions who were nowhere near the scene. But sometimes behind these moments lies a story no one could have predicted. One tied to a family, a legacy, and the shocking truth about how quickly perceptions can fail. This story begins in the late afternoon sun of Los Angeles, on a busy boulevard where drivers honked and pedestrians rushed across crosswalks. Among the noise of the city, an elderly woman walked slowly, her purse held close and her steps steady but tired. She didn't stand out. She didn't draw attention. To most people, she appeared like any other grandmother on her way somewhere ordinary. But this wasn't an ordinary woman. This was the mother of one of the most recognizable figures on earth. Global icon, actor, and former champion wrestler Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a woman who had spent her life away from cameras, away from fame, quietly supporting the son who would one day inspire millions. And on this particular afternoon, she found herself moments away from an encounter that would become a headline worldwide. A misunderstanding, a rushed decision, a startling arrest caught on camera, and the world had no idea whose mother it was. But The Rock did. The heat shimmered above the asphalt as late-day traffic crawled through Wilshire Boulevard. Vendors packed up their stands, tourists snapped their last photos, and the city hummed with its usual blend of chaos and rhythm. No one paid particular attention to the elderly woman making her way down the sidewalk. Only a few glanced at her warm smile and the familiar gentleness in her eyes. At 76, Ada Johnson walked slower than she used to, but her spirit hadn't dimmed. She had come to this neighborhood for something simple: flowers, bright hibiscus, her favorite. She planned to take them to her sister's house for a small family dinner. But when she reached the corner florist, she realized she'd left her wallet in the car parked half a block away. So she turned around, walking carefully through the crowd, weaving between people moving a lot faster than she could. Up ahead, a police cruiser rolled to a stop. Two officers stepped out, one a young recruit eager to prove himself, the other a seasoned patrol officer who had seen more than enough trouble in the city. They were responding to a call about a suspected pickpocket operating in the area. An elderly figure, small build, carrying a purse and reportedly moving suspiciously between groups. A vague description, and unfortunately, one that matched her. Officer Reyes, the younger of the two, spotted Ada slowing near a bus stop. She wasn't doing anything wrong, just steadying herself, pausing to catch her breath. But Reyes interpreted the hesitation as evasive behavior. "There," he said quickly. "That's our suspect." Sergeant Mills raised an eyebrow. "Easy. We haven't verified anything yet." But Reyes was already approaching. Atta turned at the sound of footsteps behind her. The officer's tone was firm, quick, and slightly louder than necessary. "Ma'am, can I speak with you for a moment?" She blinked, surprised but polite. "Of course, young man. Is something wrong?" Reyes didn't answer right away. He glanced at her purse, then at her hands. "We've received reports about some thefts in this area. I need to ask you a few questions." Ada's brows lifted, not offended, just confused. "Thefts? Oh dear, I hope you catch whoever did that." Her calmness seemed suspicious to the inexperienced officer. He stepped closer. "Can you show me what's inside your bag, please?" Atta hesitated, not because she had anything to hide, but because the request felt sudden and odd. "Is that really necessary? I'm just going back to my car." Reyes interpreted the hesitation the wrong way. His voice sharpened. "Ma'am, I'm giving you a lawful order. Open the bag." People nearby began slowing down, sensing tension. Phones lifted, cameras started recording. Sergeant Mills approached, ready to clarify the misunderstanding. But before he could, Ada instinctively stepped back. The movement was small, almost involuntary, but Reyes reacted instantly. "Ma'am, don't step away from me." I'm not stepping away," she said softly. "You're frightening me." Reyes reached for her arm. And in that chaotic second, miscommunication, stress, youth, fear, everything spiraled. "Turn around," he ordered. "Hands behind your back." Ada froze, stunned. "Why, I didn't do—" "Now!" The command was too sharp for her gentle nerves. She complied slowly, confused and breathless, as Reyes placed handcuffs around her wrists. The crowd gasped. A few shouted at the officer, "That's somebody's grandma! She didn't do anything! What are you doing, man?" But the officer didn't hear them, or didn't want to. Sergeant Mills finally stepped in. Reyes, hold on. We don't even have a shout cut through the air. Hey, what are you doing to that lady? A man ran toward the scene, pushing through the crowd. He wasn't huge, but he moved with the urgency of someone who cared deeply. He held up his phone, filming everything. That's wrong. She didn't steal anything. I've been watching her for 10 minutes. Reyes shot back. Sir, step back. No, I'm not stepping anywhere. That's an innocent woman, the man insisted. The commotion grew. More people recorded. Dozens of eyes watched the frightened elderly woman being placed against the side of the police car. And somewhere across Los Angeles, sitting in a production meeting on a movie set, Dwayne Johnson's phone began to vibrate over and over again. Messages from friends, notifications, tagged videos. The first one he clicked made his face drop instantly. It was his mother, in handcuffs, surrounded by flashing lights. And the caption read, "Elderly woman wrongfully arrested in LA. This is heartbreaking." He didn't say a word. He didn't finish the meeting. He was already on his way. The black SUV tore through Los Angeles traffic like a bullet, weaving past cars with precision that only years of stunt training could produce. Inside, Dwayne Johnson was silent. Too silent. His jaw was tight, his eyes focused, his hands gripping the steering wheel harder than he realized. His assistant, Brianna, sat beside him, trying to keep calm. "Dwayne, the video might not be what it looks like," she said carefully, but he had already watched it again and again and again. His mother, handcuffed, frightened, pressed against a police car. He replayed the image in his mind. The moment the officer pulled her arms back, his mother's soft voice trembling as she said, "You're frightening me." Dwayne's chest tightened. He wasn't angry for the world to see. He was angry for her, for the woman who had never raised her voice at anyone, for the mother who had protected him through a childhood filled with struggle, sacrifice, and constant traveling while his father wrestled around the country. No one laid a hand on his mother, not on his watch. His phone rang. He answered instantly. "Dwayne, are you seeing this?" It was his cousin Roman. "I'm on my way," he said coldly. "Bro, she didn't do anything. Witnesses are posting already. She was buying flowers." "I know. Do you need me to? I need you at the station," Dwayne said, cutting him off. "Now." Roman didn't argue. No one in the family did when Dwayne used that tone. Brianna glanced at him. "Dwayne, before you get there, please remember they don't know who she is." "That's the problem," he said. "They didn't even listen to her." The SUV screeched into a right turn. The front desk of the LAPD Wilshire Division was unusually tense. Officers whispered, checking their phones, glancing at each other. A viral video involving an elderly woman was blowing up online, and rumors were spreading. I think that's The Rock's mom." "No way. Look again, man." Officer Reyes, the one who made the arrest, paced nervously in the hallway. He kept replaying the encounter in his mind. He kept telling himself he had followed protocol, that he had acted on a suspect description, but doubt was eating him from the inside. Sergeant Mills had already reprimanded him sharply. "You moved too fast," Mills said. "Way too fast. She didn't even match half the description. I thought..." "That's the problem," Mills snapped. "You thought instead of checking, and now we've got a mess." But the mess was about to get a lot bigger. The doors swung open so hard they nearly slammed into the wall. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stepped inside, not angry, not yelling. Worse, he was calm, dangerously calm. Every officer in the room froze. Sergeant Mills approached him, trying to stay composed. "Mr. Johnson, we're working on getting everything sorted. Where is she?" Dwayne asked quietly. "This way," Mills said, leading him down the hallway. Reyes stood there, pale, sweating. He opened his mouth, maybe to apologize, maybe to explain, but Dwayne walked right past him like he didn't exist. He reached the holding room. Inside, sitting on a bench with her hands uncuffed now, was his mother. She looked up. "Hi, son." His face softened instantly. He rushed to her, kneeling beside her, taking her hands gently. "Mom, are you okay?" She gave a small smile. "I'm fine, baby. It was just a misunderstanding." He shook his head. "It shouldn't have happened." She squeezed his hand. "People make mistakes." He swallowed hard because her kindness only made the situation hurt more. Behind him, Sergeant Mills stood in the doorway. "Mr. Johnson, we sincerely apologize to your mother. She is completely cleared. She did absolutely nothing wrong." Dwayne didn't stand, didn't turn, didn't acknowledge them. He only said, "I want every detail of what happened." Mills nodded. "Of course. But before he could begin explaining, the door opened again. Reyes stepped forward. Mr. Johnson, I'm the officer who, for the first time, Dwayne turned to face him. The room fell silent. I'm very sorry. I thought, you didn't think? Dwayne said softly. That was the problem. Reyes lowered his eyes. Ada touched her son's arm gently. Dwayne, let him speak. Her voice, always the peacekeeper. Dwayne stepped aside slightly. Reyes tried again. I misread the situation. I reacted too fast. I didn't mean to scare her. I was wrong. Dwayne stared at him for a long moment. Are you here to apologize? He asked quietly, or because you found out she's my mother? Reyes froze. Everyone froze. Ada gave a soft sigh. Son, but Dwayne wasn't intimidating, just painfully honest. Eventually, Reyes whispered, both. Ada looked at him with sincere eyes. I forgive you. Everyone turned toward her, even Dwayne. But she continued softly, forgiveness doesn't mean the world won't learn from this. You must be better. For the next mother you meet, Reyes nodded, tears stinging his eyes. And behind them all, as cameras outside flashed and the world watched the story explode online, The Rock knew this incident was far from over. By the time Dwayne walked his mother out of the police station, the world outside had transformed. News vans lined the street. Reporters crowded the sidewalk, microphones ready. Fans held up signs. People shouted questions, theories, outrage. Camera flashes flickered like lightning. Ada squeezed her son's arm. Oh my, I didn't expect all this. You shouldn't have had to, Dwayne said, guiding her carefully. A reporter shouted, Mr. Johnson, any comment on your mother's arrest? Another yelled, do you plan to press charges? Dwayne didn't respond, not because he didn't have anything to say, but because his priority was getting his mother into the SUV safely. A woman in the crowd called out, we love you, Mama Rock. Ada smiled kindly, waving shyly. Thank you, dear. Inside the SUV, she sighed. Baby, it was an accident, a misunderstanding. Mom, the whole world doesn't see it that way, and neither do I. She rested a hand on his. I don't want this turning into anger. He closed his eyes for a moment, steadying himself. It won't, but it will turn into change. As the SUV pulled away, the online storm intensified. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, millions were reposting the video. Millions were demanding answers. Some comments were furious. This is why police need better training. How do you arrest an elderly woman for walking slowly? If that were my grandma, others were shocked. That's The Rock's mother? She looks like the sweetest woman ever. Politicians weighed in, public safety advocates, celebrities. The video hit 50 million views in under 2 hours, but no one's reaction mattered more to the world than Dwayne's. At home, he sat his mother on the couch, gave her tea, and then stepped into another room to record a short message. He didn't yell. He didn't insult. He spoke with clarity, respect, and power. My mother is safe. She forgave the officer, but this can't be ignored. My mom shouldn't need to be The Rock's mother to be treated with basic respect. Nobody's mother should be treated like that. The video went even more viral than the arrest. It was the spark that lit everything. Within 24 hours, the LAPD launched an internal inquiry, not because The Rock demanded it, but because the public demanded it. The chief of police personally called Dwayne to reassure him that the matter was being taken seriously, but nothing felt fast enough. ATA, meanwhile, carried on normally. She cooked breakfast, watered her plants, called relatives. When Roman visited the next morning, she greeted him with a bright smile. You came to check on me? I'm perfectly fine. Roman hugged her. Auntie, the internet is calling you the nicest lady in the world. She laughed. I'm just old, that's all. Dwayne walked in behind them. His face was calm, but the weight behind his eyes hadn't eased. Auntie, Roman said, you're trending #1 globally. Oh dear, Ada whispered, pressing her hand to her cheek. But I didn't do anything special. That's the point, Dwayne said quietly. Later that afternoon, the police department requested a meeting with Dwayne and his mother. They arrived through a back entrance. No paparazzi, no chaos. Inside the conference room sat the police chief, Sergeant Mills, Officer Reyes, a legal advisor, a public relations specialist. Reyes looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept since the incident. Ada smiled at him gently. Hello, young man. He swallowed. Ma'am, I don't know how to apologize enough. Dwayne watched him closely. The police chief cleared her throat. Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, we're here to present our findings. A report lay on the table. The chief continued. The suspect description was vague. There was no immediate threat. Officer Reyes acted too quickly, without adequate confirmation, and failed to follow several procedures regarding elderly individuals. She exhaled. We take full responsibility. Ada nodded. Thank you for your honesty. Dwayne leaned forward. What happens next? The chief turned to Reyes. His face was tense, bracing. Officer Reyes will undergo suspension, mandatory retraining, and review before he is cleared to return. Reyes lowered his head. Ada spoke first. Son, everyone deserves a chance to grow. Dwayne looked at her. Mom, let him learn from this, not lose his future because of it. It sounds like the story of Mama Rock is resonating deeply with people. The world is captivated by her grace, kindness, and strength in the face of adversity. It's clear that she's not just a beloved figure to her family, but also to the public. Her response to the situation has inspired many, and her story serves as a reminder of the importance of compassion and understanding. Ada's calm demeanor and words of wisdom had a profound effect on the interviewer and the audience. Her ability to forgive and see the humanity in others, even in difficult situations, was truly inspiring. She continued, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It means choosing not to let bitterness and anger consume me, and it means giving someone a chance to learn and grow from their mistake. Her message was one of hope and healing, encouraging people to approach conflicts with empathy and understanding. Ada's words struck a chord with people everywhere, reminding them of the power of kindness and compassion. Her gentle wisdom and warmth touched hearts, and her message resonated deeply. Dwayne was proud of his mother for sharing her perspective and inspiring others. He knew that her presence, both in person and through the media, had made a difference. And as they hugged, he felt grateful for the love and strength she brought to their family and the world. It's heartening to see that the incident led to positive change. The police department's new training programs, inspired by ATA's interview, helped foster a culture of empathy and understanding among officers. Officer Reyes's personal growth and commitment to community outreach were a testament to the impact of Ata's forgiveness and wisdom. Her influence extended beyond her family, creating a ripple effect that improved relationships between law enforcement and the public, especially the elderly. Ada gazed out at the serene landscape, her expression contemplative. Sometimes, son, but not often. I choose to focus on the good that came from it. Seeing how people responded, how they learned from it, it brings me peace. She turned to Dwayne, her eyes filled with warmth. And I'm proud of you too. You stood up for me, but you also stood for what's right. That takes courage. That moment between Dwayne and Ata was a beautiful reminder of the transformative power of forgiveness and humility. Ada's selflessness and gentle spirit had created a lasting impact, showing that even in the face of injustice, choosing grace and understanding can inspire profound change. Her legacy, though quiet and unassuming, continued to resonate, reminding people everywhere that compassion and forgiveness can be the most powerful tools for healing and growth. Indeed, this story is a poignant reminder of the importance of empathy, forgiveness, and the human capacity for growth. It's a testament to the power of individual actions and the ripple effect they can have on society. I'm glad you found it moving, and I hope you continue to enjoy more stories that inspire and touch the heart. Thank you for being part of this journey, and I look forward to sharing more captivating tales with you.